for myself, and I do not want to participate in a fraudulent construct again. And with that, I yield. I'm open up for questions.
That was beautiful, man. Thank you.
Guys, you can ask questions. Come on.
Anybody got any questions for Cool Fox?
Sure. Yes. How do we stand together? Like, how do we stand together?
All right. So we can stand together as are we doing right now. This is what you call what we're doing right now. You call this an assembly. We'll call this an assembly. So we are now gathered together right here. We are assembling. We can right now as we speak make a declaration. And once we make that declaration, we make an ordinance, or we can make a resolution. And once we make the resolution, we can enact that resolution among ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Once we make that resolution and we write and we sign off on those agreements, we can then go forth and make the claim within the United States and seek forth a territory in which we can gain our own jurisdiction and establish or remove one that was actually made in fraud. Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution does not allow, Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution does not allow the state to establish itself in another area or another state. So what they did in the 1865 is remove the original state from its position and place those new state that you're looking at right now, these de facto government. So in other words, any bloodline, anyone that can find a bloodline within those territory can now reclaim their father's estate and recoup it back from them. Any one of us, doesn't matter which one of us who are under the direct bloodline, right? Again, as I said, both white and black was together at that time. If you read throughout the political document, you see the one that I just read, you see that white and black was mixed at the same time. So there's no racial shit was happening at that time. We both was fighting together to stop tyranny. It's just a bullshit theory that they came up with to try to separate us now and then cause us to be in this nonsense that we're in with them right now as we speak.
So if we have native blood, even like, 15, 20%, 25%, we have more standing to declare.
In a sense, yes, we do. Once a bloodline can be found here, or historical facts shows, or the census show that the bloodline was originally here, and they remove you and place you anywhere else, or call you something else that they're not supposed to call you, that's what you call genocidal acts. You basically just stopped me from getting my inheritance from my forefather, and which I now I don't have no right interest in it, and so they have to pay for that shit. So every person that you see now, they get deported and sent over from America to Mexico or whatever they trying to say, or Mexico. That was a genocidal act. Now, don't get me wrong, they make it to seem as if they can do it. So let me show you what they used to do it, and that way you can see where I'm coming from in general. So they use the Immigration and Nationality Act to push them out first. See, the Immigration and Nationality Act in Section 361, where let's see if we can find it. Where it said right here, the Secretary of State authorized to cancel any passport or consular report or birth or a certified copy thereof if it appears that the document was illegally, fraudulently, erroneously obtained from or was created through illegality or fraud practice upon the secretary. The press for whom such documentation has been issued or made, or the act of such a last known address, they must give it the cancellation. So that's what you see the president was trying to use to push these people out. But what caused it to become a genocidal act? The 14th Amendment Declaration. Now, you got to understand why I'm giving you this principle. This principle is fall underneath detrimental reliance. Detrimental reliance is the term where you rely on a situation where one party relies on a promise made by another party. So the United States declared all persons born in the United States therefore are citizen, and was for many years taking away people, children, and placed them into a society where they did not belong. This is the reason why they reclassified black nation so much time so the society, because there was the original title holder to this land and territory. Many people of them was they were abrogated. Some also was also white. They also was also abrogated and placed in this various few white Indian nations I've worked for as well, that I've seen around the cut have their own band and charter. I've helped them establish themselves again through their treaty principle. With that said, any bloodline that you find yourself to be a part of within the territory, original territory, then you can go ahead and reclaim and recoup whatever asset that they cost. So the reason why I'm saying it's fraud, here they use this principle right here, but they forgot that they have this principle here. Uh, The loss of nationality under this chapter result on a solely of the performance of by a national or the act of the fulfillment of conditions specific in this chapter. What is the condition? The 14th Amendment. The people was relying on the 14th Amendment to be a documentation in which they can gain citizenship. And they did so underneath the 14th Amendment, which now allowed the people them to be believed that they are a citizen of the United States, which is a really violate the people them rights, interests, and title and genocidal acts. Now they're abrogating their rights and shipping them to a country where they don't even have no existence in there, making it a just claim against the United States. They can sue them for trillions of dollars if they know their rights, interests, and title. Nevertheless, many of the people them who actually are Indian and Native American and all that stuff that what they want to call them has treaty, and this provision, Moroccan and every one of these people have treaty where it said nothing in this title shall be applied to the convention. Many of them have convention provision of any treaty or convention in which the United States is a party and has ratified before 1952. The United States participated in the Convention of Madrid 1880, allowing the Moroccan governmental body who was here in this land to be all of those things. They are doing so much, it's ridiculous. So yes, we can actually currently, as we stand, form this declaration, make a resolution and make an enactment, and then sue the United States and take our title interest and take a territory for ourselves and remove whatever state established himself on whatever territory they believe that they have and take it back away from them based on self-evidence documentation that I've been showing you throughout this live. There are more that I could show you, but I'm gonna pause that for now. Let me go answer some more questions. I see some more hands up. But does that give you answer to what you were asking?
Yes, and I would love to speak with you further about this and create a larger group that is willing to stand and start taking some legal actions.
Yes, guys, that's what we have to do. If we go out, if we can get more people across the globe, across the United States, we can definitely remove them from society, but create firm and better structure. Remember, you can't move a society if you don't create something. And if the system is already perfect, what you need to do is just make sure you make proper intelligible principles. Intelligible principles is just give proper definitions, what you're trying to get the clear side, take out misleading laws, take out laws that does not actually declare properly, and remove them and fix them with better structure so the society can grow within the same society. We're not going to take the United States law all the way together, but remove the parties that actually causing the harm, injury, and loss. Because any party, any state that ever caused any rights according to the original 13 whatever they call it, the 13th Amendment, not the article 13. I'm talking about the 14th Amendment. They turned into 13th Amendment. That originally state that when a state commits any form of involuntary servitude, they lose rights to their land and territory. So every state right now effectively running a involuntary servitude campaign, taking away rights, interests, and title of the people, which they can lose right to those territory under the opposites of the 14th involuntary servitude document.
Hey, cool Fox. So I just want to add to this. One of the things we can do is I'm actually notary of the state. I'm also a RON notary, which is I can notarize anybody across the U.S. So one of the benefits of being a notary, and this is why it's important, just like truck drivers, they keep a ledger. Always keep a ledger of everything to prove when you're in the public. So when you are a notary and somebody has you come in as a witness to their case, you can actually go in there and basically babysit the judge, and they know that. I've had cases where magistrate was in his best behavior. Let me tell you, he kept looking at me, watching me taking notes, and it makes a big difference. So, and I did get attacked by one case where the Secretary of State actually wanted my ledger book. I denied their claim because it's a private ledger. They cannot access it. The only way is it has to be subpoenaed through a federal court. And there's no possibility that was going to happen. I shut them right down. So being a notary has benefits. And, if you have people that are dealing with court situations, you can help them out with that. So that's another way we can also do this.
Yep. Notaries are very effective. Who else want to ask question? Go ahead. P. Cruz, you want to ask question?
Oh, that was my, I didn't want to ask a question. I just want to make that statement.
Man and woman, they want to ask a question?
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to thank y'all for everything that y'all are sharing up here. I've learned a lot since I've been up here, and I've been here from the start, and I can't even get enough to get off. But the thing is, I wanted to ask, how do I get it? I keep hearing, and I know to pull it out of state court. How do we go about getting it actually out of state court? Like, what need to be done if I'm just a novice person, never done it before?
Notice of removal.
And that's putting it in their court or putting it into the federal court?
You file a notice of removal in their court, then they use that notice of removal, then put it in the federal courts.
And that'll
Or I can
automatically
do a
just take care.
yeah, I can do a notice of intervention, constitutional question.
And just plainly just saying notice of removal. And you
It's
just say, I, the man known as such and such, wish to remove case such and such over into
right,
federal
and then
court.
you show the jurisdiction and why the jurisdictional authority applied, and how the jurisdictional authority applied to the state, and then you're going to bring it over to the federal question, or you can ask for intervention by the Supreme Court. And when the Supreme Court come, you're going to give them the same jurisdictional authority, which is Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2, in which the Supreme Court has the delegation of authority over the state court matter. If the state try to place an interest, that you remind it back to the Supreme Court and tell them that it's a financial interest in which the state is trying to claim, which doesn't have no claim for relief because you don't have no true contract.
Okay,
Give me a second.
excellent. And
Can you tell
that's
us?
that. And let me ask you: is that is that almost every time, or is that every time you remove it, it's going to go over there?
Whenever you remove it, you got to show the grounds, like I just showed you guys how to structure your documents underneath the federal Rule 8, what they're looking for. So when they
That's
do it,
what we
right,
definitely need help with.
right. So you would create first, you take the allegation. You look at the allegation and the claim that they're claiming, you write your claim contrary to that document and securing the interests within the principle of natural law, constitutional protection. If you're a treaty party, treaty rights, you show the treaty self execution treaty documentation. If you're just a regular person, you write it and show where the laws will become more oppressively, and show what kind of rules, like what Ricky Martin was giving you guys earlier, that he was showing you how you can structure it. You bring those documentation, and you then you create either one, an order to show cause, or you can create a notice, and with the removal you have a complaint with that and an affidavit. a complaint and affidavit. With a complaint and affidavit, they must come and answer it point to point. And you must foundation the affidavit according to what they violated and show the matching rules and regulation with the natural laws and the Constitution provisions, such as the Ninth Amendment, 10th Amendment, Fourth Amendment. But you have to structure it in the right way by saying exactly what the Fourth Amendment actually mean, because the Constitution must be created in the plain language. Therefore, it does not have room for interpretation. So if they talk about the court interpretate this, that's a material misrepresentation. Interpretation is fraud. Just like when a man show you a glass bottle and then call it a plastic bottle, that's a material misrepresentation by its interpretation. So court can interpret laws based on their own knowledge and then materially misrepresent the interpretate, but through the interpretation. You don't want no interpretation. That's where the Constitution was created in plain language. It does
So
not.
when we refer to it, we'll refer to that supremacy clause in our claim and just refer and put it verbatim and, like refer to, according to the Constitution, it states such and such, and then we just put it in like that.
Yes, you use the Constitution and you structure it. So you strike if your affidavit is created, you want to the principle of who, what, where, and when, and how, what relief sought, what damage they have caused, and what injunction they want to happen. So
Okay.
that's how you're gonna create that one of those principles. So the time frame, the place where you're gonna write it down like a story, but then you start invoking the laws in which they may have violated when they do a certain action within that same time. So like they did a open up the door and pull you out of your car, they're in violation of the Fourth Amendment, which shall not be violated. Probable cause is not a right. Probable cause is a prerequisite of a right of an action. So there certain action must happen before the probable cause can be established. So they say they have probable cause, but they are exercising judicial administrative process on the street side, which they need to go do the probable cause first within the probable cause hearing at the court. Saying it's in violation of the natural law and the principle of the Constitution by pulling me out of the car, so on and so forth. They just say you have to construct it in a certain way. So, each time they violated the show, according to Amendment 9, I do not consent to go according to Amendment 9, I have the right to reserves, a reserve right by the people, not to participate in any constitutional or contract or any legislative act which is non-beneficial to me in law or equity. Since it's not beneficial to you in law or equity, you reserve the right not to participate and reserve the right not to be compelled under the 13th Amendment. You got to construct it properly.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Go ahead, Sammy.
Good evening. Can you hear? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out that.
Can't hear it, Sammy. That my part. No, it's not my part. Sammy can't hear it.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Go ahead now.
Okay. Well, first I want to thank you so much for everything you're saying. I'm really learning a lot. And forgive me if I'm asking this, but if this has already been answered, but um, you've essentially proved that they really have no authority over us. The problem is that most of them think that they still do, and I'm just wondering how you would go about if an enforcement agent, like a cop or an attorney or a judge, still decides to walk over you. How do you go about sort of handling that appropriately so that they can really realize that they don't have jurisdiction or authority over you? Thank you.
Due course of law. Due course of law allow you to invoke the press. Due course of law allow you to bring the jury of your peers. So you invoke those principles and bring the peers and the people and get the public opinion on their ass. And I guarantee they will drop it if you know how to construct your allegation and your argument proper throughout the court process. So whenever they come up with a claim or a standing, you just start constructing it properly. On the material information of facts, you just hold on a second.
Taken my bid. It is my yard.
Give me a second because something is running in the background enough.
There, no, that's
Something is running back
Okay,
on
well,
back
where-
on my Okay,
Yes,
there we
ma'am.
go. All right, I found it. Yeah, so due course of law. Due course of law allow you to invoke the jury trial and the people of the peers. So once the people of the peers come forth in the jury trial, now you just start teaching them the construct of law, how the law is supposed to be constructed, and I guarantee you the jury will let you win. And once the jury let you win, it cannot be overturned by any judge, no matter what it is, because the society speak on their rights, interests, and title. Because the society get what? That's where the power derived from. That's why jury trial can never be overturned. It's different from a judge decision.
Thank you very much.
Mario,
Hey, Fox, thank you
much
so
love.
much. This was definitely entertaining. I love your passion with everything you talk about. So if I could try to set it up like a chain, so I don't know if you heard the question I had asked before we started, where I was pondering if we need a trust in place to act on the things mentioned. Rick said no, because there's still public trust that they can be breaking. So I kind of want to build from those three parameters, like having a trust, public trust, and like the people like I have a license, I have registrations, like so how to approach these. Now, where you started was natural law, so you kind of try to break that natural law applies to everyone. It doesn't matter where you're starting from.
Mhm.
I got thrown off because a lot of what you were saying, like I've spent the last year studying doctrines and acts, but you presented an interesting angle, which is that none of these are valid because they kind of go against natural law. So when you were
Yes.
speaking, parents' patron came up and you said, screw your parents' patron, which I feel the same way. But I would love for if you could elaborate then specifically where I'm starting, which is the license, I have registration, like I have all this, I have to rescind it, right? Where do the doctrines and acts come into play, let's say, when I rescind it, in a way that when they bring up parents' patria, I go, hey, look, I understand that's an act, but it doesn't apply to me.
Parents patria came through the delegation of that parents. If the parents is their parents doesn't have no tight no protection or rights over their children, when they can't do it, they have no they're not legally adequate. Since they're not legally adequate to operate, then the government can come in on the opposites to save those parents to defend them. But that's not a fact, right, when it comes to parents patria. The first principle is who? The father, the mother. Parents patria cannot supersede the rights of the father, because the rights must first be delegated by the parent. You got to understand where the structure is. That's why I said to the guy who always bring up parents patria, I understand why he's bringing it up and the purpose of his bringing it up, but it's not a federal or a governmental right. It would have to be a delegated power given to the government in order for them to exercise it. So then, if it's not delegated by the father or the mother, which is the father is the first principle because he's the natural guardian, you got to understand the structure here, how things start. It's a derived power system. God derived the original power to man. Man derived the power to government. Government derived the power to citizens. Now, how the person become a citizen? By making a pledge to the Constitution. Many of you guys never make a pledge to the Constitution. Many of you guys just regular people moving around. So therefore, you have civil liberty, civil power, moving around in the society. Seeing that you never delegate this authority, then they must come in concert to understand that when you look at the 14th Amendment, it talk about people liberty, as well as the Fifth Amendment, it talk about people liberty. You look in the Constitution, it still talk about liberty. So that means there's a separate set of people different from the one that are subjects. So now we have to differentiate who are the subject and who are the people who are not the subject. So every man must limit their power in which they have to make the other people enjoy that ability to enjoy them life. So in other words, a man can't just use his power and take another man's property. You have to make that man enjoy his property. So that means there is a limitation of your power from using your liberty to steal that man thing. So we're just working honesty, right? But if you and a man sign an agreement and a contract, the both of you have to follow it. You can't just use a contract and dominate that man. Or you can't just use a law within the contract to make yourself superior and inferior, and you don't get none of the benefit that you are getting from it. So that does not fall in the principle of equity. So when you go ahead and try to construct something, you construct something for your benefit. So how do you get out of it? You said, one, you have to first you have to first see if you are subject to any of the rules according to their doctrine. How do you subject to the rules? By natural law. Which law did he give up for, and what benefit did he get for giving up that right? Since there is none, then you are not a part of the society. That society must then honor your natural and civil liberty. Since they must honor your natural and civil liberty per the Constitution, when they try to force their will upon you, you have to now get everybody in the society to assist you throughout the process. Why? Because they would same way they would force you and the people of the society, the same way they're forcing their rights upon one individual. So that's why you must go ahead and say, hey, people, look what they're doing to me. You think they won't do it to you? Right? I must eat and I must drink and I must go to work, but I only work $250 a day. If I work $250 a day, I only pay $750 for rent, $650 for car insurance, $650 for car monthly payment. Where would I get food from? It can't work. So I have to leave insurance for now and create a system for myself in which I can take liability for it. I don't want them to force me in their situation. So now, if they're forcing me when making minimal money, they will force you to, even though you can make the ability to create your own insurance policy and create your own insurance system to pay for your own house, own car, own system, create your own pool with your own family. You're supposed to be able to establish that for your own self. So whenever you cause a damage for somebody, you can go ahead. I already make that with my trust. They should not intervene and tell me what to do with my own money. I already make laws, make rules, make legislation, make stuff. I handle my affairs the way it need to be handled my affairs. I have responsibility, liability. They just want me to show it to them. I have the right for my privacy in my papers. I don't need to show them shit. So now they're forcing me to participate in that. That means they're forcing you to tell you that your Fourth Amendment is not valid. And it does not have no authority. They have authority over it. They're superseding the Constitution. And now the people start recognizing that. And they say, hey, what you're creating as a legislation is fraud. You need to reassess it. Reassess it, because now if I create this thing again and if I build it my own, why would you want me? Yeah, he's right, They're gonna do it to me. And then the whole population just come at them. They have to change the laws immediately because the society might destroy them. So you have to stop being um, foolish to keep it to yourself. That's why me, Derrick, and many of our other people will come to the true knowledge, recognize that we have to share it with a society in order for us to get our rights, issues, and title be heard. So when we come, we're not trying to exploit you guys, but we indeed this is a full day work. And we do have to eat and we do have to read and study all of these things. So that means we need funding as the people that are actually guiding you guys to these things. So in order for us to keep reading, donation is required. So donation is required. Why donation is required? Because we still have to buy certain books to read from. We still have to, some of us even write documents to people for free. Some of us even travel from various state to state, because I do travel from various state to state. What I should require in my payment should be more than whatever it is that some people pay me. I sometimes don't even get payment, but I'm traveling. I'm taking sometimes my own money to invest in people documents. I take my money many times and file for people documentation. Sometimes I file for people investigation. I don't have the money, but I take whatever it is that I earn, I put it back into the people in society. Why? Because I want to make sure the people understand that this is a unity for us to escape tyranny. If you never watch anything before that, you can watch Robert Welch, 1953, and watch his speech. He will show you that the government is the enemy of every people in this throughout the nation. They go in and tear down the society by trying to force the people to follow unjust laws. So people become tyrannical or abusive or destructive because they are oppressed. And oppression make even a wise man mad. So when you're in a relationship and see a good man in a relationship and see him getting mad, even though I'm smart and intelligent and get mad and start destroying everything, girl, you need to calm that man down because he's somewhere, somehow he's feeling oppressed somewhere. You don't know where the oppression come from. Maybe you, it may be outside. So you gotta try to figure out where the oppression come from and try to talk to him about it. The same for any woman. When oppression is start, they will do destructive things. So that's what happened to us right now. So we must find a way out of oppression by reconstructing our society and writing our own instruments and making our declaration of our own citizen. Our children are our citizen. And once we make our declaration of our own citizen,